The control fruit has always been one of the most fascinating abilities in Blox Fruits. Known for its massive sphere of influence, unique mechanics, and game-changing potential in both PvP and PvE, it stood out as one of the most creative devil fruits inspired by the One Piece universe. But with the recent control fruit rework, everything has changed. The developers have taken this already complex fruit and pushed it to a whole new level. This rework does not only change how the fruit looks, but also how it plays, making it feel fresh, powerful, and much more dynamic. In this guide, we'll dive deep into everything about the control rework, its new abilities, visuals, mechanics, combos, strengths, weaknesses, and why it could become one of the most defining fruits in Blox Fruits once again. 1. Introduction to the control fruit. Before the rework, the control fruit was unique because it allowed players to summon a massive blue room that defined their battlefield. Inside this room, the user could manipulate opponents, perform gravity-like slams, and deal heavy damage in a controlled zone. However, the old kit felt clunky, outdated, and lacked versatility compared to newer fruits like Dough, Leopard, and Venom. Players asked for a rework for months, and the developers finally delivered. The control fruit now has a complete visual overhaul, sharper animations, smoother sphere effects, and lightning-like distortions. A rebalanced moveset, faster skills, new combos, and higher utility. New strategic depth, not just raw damage, but crowd control, zoning, and combo potential. 2. New visual design. One of the most striking changes in the rework is the visual appearance of control abilities. Instead of a simple blue dome, the control room now appears as a shimmering, distortion-like bubble with electric arcs, dark particle effects, and a gravity warp aesthetic. It feels far more immersive and intimidating. Attacks also received upgrades. Object throws now leave trails of warped space. Gravity slams create crater-like shockwaves. Teleportation effects shimmer with distortion. The rework clearly modernized the fruit to match the graphical style of other updated fruits. 3. Moveset breakdown. Let's break down the abilities of the reworked control fruit one by one. Note that skill names may differ depending on translations or future patches, but the core mechanics remain the same. One room, Z, summons the iconic control room, now scales with mastery and lasts longer. Enemies inside are highlighted with a distortion effect, making it easier to track them. Cooldown reduced compared to the old version. This move is the foundation of control gameplay. Without the room, many abilities are unavailable. 2. Shambles X allows you to instantly swap places with an enemy, ally, or thrown object inside the room. Faster cast time and lower cooldown in the rework. Can be chained mid-combo for insane mix-ups. This skill makes control terrifying in PvP. You can teleport behind an enemy, dodge attacks instantly, or reposition for combos. 3. Taxi lifts an enemy or object in the air and slams them down. Damage scales with both room size and fruit mastery. Can now hit multiple enemies inside the room, making it a crowd control ability. This move was one of the most iconic, and now it feels much smoother to execute. 4. Mess V, a high damage move that warps the enemy's position multiple times before crashing them. Now, deals AoE damage if multiple enemies are inside the room. Visuals show distorted clones of a target as they're warped around. 5. Teleport F, a mobility ability that allows instant relocation anywhere inside or near the room. Lower cooldown in the rework. Can be used for both offense, getting in close, and defense, escaping combos. 4. Combos with the reworked control. One of the biggest strengths of the control fruit is combo potential. With its new mechanics, combos are smoother and deadlier than ever. For example, Room, Shambles, Tact, Mess, Teleport, a basic bread-and-butter combo that locks the enemy in place. Shambles plus Sword combo, Control pairs extremely well with sword mains. Teleport behind your target. Unleash sword M1S. Then finish with tact. Fruit plus control mix. Combine control with other strong fruits in second account setups or raids. Control zoning lets you keep enemies locked while allies deal AoE. 5. PvP strengths and weaknesses. Strengths. Amazing mobility with Shambles plus teleport. Insane crowd control inside the room. Great synergy with swords and fighting styles. Hard to predict combos once mastered. Weaknesses. Requires set up the room. Without it, you're weaker. High skill ceiling. Beginners may struggle. Stamina management is crucial due to constant teleporting. 6. PvE and farming. While control shines in PvP, it's also useful in PvE. Large room allows you to control groups of NPCs. AoE abilities make farming ways easier. Boss fights become manageable since you can reposition instantly. However, for raw farming speed, fruits like Buddha, Dough, or Leopard may still outperform control. 7. Impact on the meta. The rework drastically increased control's viability. Before, it was considered niche, only used by skilled players. Now, with smoother animations, reduced cooldowns, and more fluid combos, it has climbed back into A tier or even S tier for PvP. In team fights, control is a nightmare for enemies. Its zoning potential forces opponents to respect your room, and its ability to displace enemies makes coordinated fights much easier. 8. Final thoughts. The Control Fruit rework is one of the most exciting updates in Blox Fruits. It transforms a once outdated ability into a high-skill, high-reward powerhouse that rewards creativity, timing, and mastery. If you love technical gameplay, flashy combos, and absolute dominance in PvP, the Control Fruit should be on your radar. With the potential for more adjustments in future patches, Control may become one of the most iconic reworked fruits in the game. It's not just about raw damage anymore, it's about control, strategy, and bending the battlefield to your will.